The Reman Project is a coaching and consulting firm specializing in personal and leadership development for adult Black males, seeking to break the vicious cycle of missed potential so that they themselves transform their personal lives, their sense of leadership to their families, and their legacies that they want to leave for business and culture. We destroy this cycle on two fronts. We confront both the institution and the individual. We address the institution because, according to the statistics, Black males are under assault and are targeted for extinction in ways that their white counterparts are not. We are over incarcerated and undereducated. There are systems in place, political systems, media systems, and religious systems that serve as intentional, or some say unintentional, barriers to the Black male's advancement. As a result, we work to raise public awareness about issues confronting Black males, promote healthy and positive images about Black males, curate spaces to share information and resources about programs, services, and support for Black males, support knowledge creation and dissemination around these issues, and provide a forum for Black males to both speak and act for themselves. We address the individual Black male because we cannot avoid personal responsibility. We are now overmothered and underfathered. We make bad social choices, and we avoid responsibility for getting ourselves out from under the social plight that we face. We will develop the moral compass and character necessary to face the adverse realities that are faced in everyday life. We live by the premise that even that which is not our fault is still our responsibility. In 2019, we answered the call to transform the culture one man at a time. Our society, our families, and men in particular are in a state of crisis. And the goal of the Reman Project is to curate the largest, strongest, and dopest community of Black males in the entire world. We then create awareness and action against the institutional and individual impediments that exist against the foundation of our culture and overall society, which is the Black male.
What's up? Good to see you. Listen, you never know how I'm coming.
You get you gonna make me go Eddie Kane on
what? Go Eddie Kane.
you. How does it feel to be me? You want my spot? You want my spot?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my movie. That's my movie, man. I'm sorry. That is my movie.
Yeah, you the movie guy. You the movie guy. You talk about it, man. Good morning to all of you that are watching. Or is it afternoon? It's afternoon now, right? Good afternoon
Yeah.
to everybody that's
Yes, sir.
watching. Welcome to the Braveheart Bible Study. It is designed specifically for brothers, but I'm glad that we get an opportunity to allow sisters to listen in, be a fly on the wall, and also just to kind of give them a glimpse of. And I hesitate to say it this way, but I'm gonna say it this way. People get mad if they want to get mad, but there is a such thing as real men, right? There is a such thing as real men. There's a such thing as manhood having a standard. Inside Remand, we say all the time that manhood is a sacred term, that you don't get a chance to be called a man. Um, you know, and let's see, I'm trying to add coach. There we go. You don't get a chance to be called a man and not meet the criteria. Criteria for manhood is not that you have a penis. The criteria for manhood is not that you're older. The criteria for manhood is that you meet a certain set of principles, or at least aspire to, right? Aspire to have a certain set of principles that would qualify you as a man. So I want to welcome every man. I want to welcome every brother who is aspiring to the principles of manhood and masculinity. Welcome to every sister who is wondering what the heck is a man, right? I want to welcome everybody. And Coach is here now. Leroy is here now. Coach is in his sacred place.
Listen, I just hit a PR. I just benched 435.
Woo! Come on, Coach.
What's your PR? Personal record?
Personal record.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
That's why I was not on time. Sorry, I was in the zone.
No problem, man. I'm on your heels. I'm at about 4:15 right now.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So,
you're 4:15, Angelo.
yeah,
You're 4:15.
So
I think that's the time he's talking about working out, Coach.
Oh, okay.
4:15.
That was good. That was actually pretty good, Leroy. Oh man. Oh man, that was good.
This is what happens when your brothers won't let you be great. You know, it's a lot of hate there. This is what happens. And I try to tell sometimes when wifey and I are laying down, we watching something, and we see brothers just clowning each other. She said, "Is that how y'all talk?" I said, "Oh, absolutely. You gotta have thick skin to be a man, right?
You gotta have thick skin to be a man."
Got you.
Yeah. So those of you that are watching, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Donald Morton, Chief Visionary Officer of Remand, and the leader of the Grown Man Podcast. I have with me also the leader of the Braveheart Bible Study. All of it really works together. We are committed to manhood, and we're committed to doing it, to returning manhood to its original state. I'm gonna get in some trouble, Leroy. I'm gonna get in some trouble.
That's good trouble.
It's good trouble. I don't know whether our listeners want to think it's good trouble, but I want to know how in the heck Miss Maryland is a man.
Say what?
Did you guys not see?
What?
Run that back. Run that back
one more
again.
time.
Did
I
you
know.
not see
That math don't work.
that yesterday Maryland crowned Miss Maryland the first transgender woman?
You lying, bro?
I'm not lying.
You share that to the screen, please.
I can't.
Yeah. I got this. No.
Those of you that are watching,
That's what we're talking about now.
Yes. In fact, I'm going to read it to you.
How is that even possible?
Right. So this is what they did, right? Miss Maryland is the first now in your home state, Leroy.
I know.
Miss Maryland, Bailey Ann Kennedy, crowned first transgender Miss Maryland.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's where we are. That's where we are.
Man, I'm telling you, my heart was already discouraged this morning because of some other topics, and I don't know if we'll get into it here.
Yeah.
But to hear this makes it, and it makes it sink even lower, bro. That's That's disheartening.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we can just raise this up one and do it depends.
That is
Yeah.
disheartening.
So it's crazy, man. I woke up this morning. I didn't see it last night. I woke up this
Mhm.
morning and just kind of scrolling through my phone
Mhm.
and said to myself, "What?" And this is the
For
way
real.
that this is the way that they have caused the compromise, right? The way that they have caused the compromise is they have literally said that this man, Bailey Ann Kennedy, um, is also the first married winner. So they're kind of putting it up as this idea that the person is breaking a lot of records. First transgender, first um, first married person.
It's don't you? The miss means you have to be a. You have to be
Yeah,
a.
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
you ain't
yeah,
got to know about
Unmarried.
it, coach. Right.
yeah,
So even if
yeah.
you are transgender, you can't be married.
Yeah, you can't be married,
And,
That math don't math, man. That's some bullshittery.
but
right.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and
So
and
this is
and
where
the
we
thing
are.
is about the isn't there like a pre-screening and you have to meet a criteria, a list of things in order to be able to even compete?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm saying, like coach, you just said you can't be married, which is isn't that on the list?
yeah. And there are a couple of other things that you can't be, but they've allowed this kind of open door, right?
Whew.
In the same way that they did young girls. It's not really the same level, but the same way that they did allow young girls into the Boy Scouts
Which is the
and
dumbest thing in the world.
right, bruh. So when these kinds of things happen, um, I think it's good that we have space like this to be able to challenge the thinking, right?
Hmm.
And not just to kind of go along. Coach came on today and his whole gait was excited. I just told him this. Look at his gait now. His gait,
Bruh.
he, he
I'm
is
about to
not
go do
a happy dude.
555 now. It's about to go to 555 now. We need a whole separation line between
We need
that
a
book,
whole.
man.
No, that's
So,
true.
so I'm not gonna lie, Don. I had this conversation with a client the other day. We were talking about the whole girls in the Boy Scouts deal,
Yeah,
and she tells me that why shouldn't girls be allowed in the Boy Scouts? Well, because she's not a boy.
right,
But the girls don't have the same. They do that Girl Scouts. And
right.
in the
Right.
same way that the Boy Scouts, Eagle Scout get you XYZ things, so does the Girl Scout side of the same thing. But the
Yeah,
Boy Scouts is better known. That's not the Boy Scouts' fault.
that's right. That's right.
Coach, you just talked about the WNBA and the NBA
Same deal.
in a nutshell. In a
You,
nutshell, right
you,
there too.
and I'm in this constant debate with people talking about the NBA versus the WNBA pay scale. I said, well, if the WNBA made a profit, the girls will make more. But here's the funny truth they don't talk about, right? As far as percentage share of profits, the WNBA players earn more than NBA players when it comes to the pay percentage per profit, right?
Mm,
Yeah,
So the biggest disparity is
mm.
they don't get their jersey sales, but now they do, right?
yeah, 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 yeah,
And so it's just a matter of get more butts in the seats.
yeah, yeah.
That's all it
For
That's
sure,
is.
just
for
Well,
sure.
yep.
well, coach, do you go see a WNBA game? I said, first of all, I very rarely go to an NBA game.
Yeah,
But I
Right.
can rattle off the top 10 NBA players in the top 10 NBA players in NBA.
yeah.
I mean, other than Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark or whatever the chick name is, that's about it.
And Asia
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wilson.
Asia
That's on my list.
Wilson. I
Leslie
think
Lil, Leslie don't even play no more.
yeah.
Diana
Tarasi.
Look off one more.
That's
Tarasi.
it.
I
That's
know
it for me.
Tarasi is still playing.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
it for
few that
me.
I can name, but like you said, coach, I can't rattle off 10 off the
Yeah,
top of my head, to be
yeah,
honest with you.
yeah.
I
Right.
really can't.
And that's not
Yeah.
hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are watching, that's not sexism, that's the reality,
Right.
right?
Right.
It's the reality. So I thought I would bring that to you guys' attention today, piss you all off. What's my brother that's there with you, Walter? What's his name?
Angelo.
Angelo, I'm gonna piss Angelo off. What's up, bro? Good to
How
see
are
you,
you?
man.
Good to see you.
I piss Angelo off. I'm gonna piss Coach off. Piss Leroy. Yeah, the first transgender in Maryland.
Yeah, you pissed it. Look, me and Andrew shaking his head, bro. He just shaking his head.
Woo.
Yeah, man. So I think what it does for me is just again shows. Let me ask you guys this, and this may be something that I ask tomorrow to Dr. Kit. Dr. Kit's going to be on the show, right? On the Grown Man podcast. And it's in line, Coach. I'll start with you, and then we'll get into the topic for today. It's in line with what I just said, right? Like these comments that we're making are not sexism comments. This is not misogyny. It's not toxic masculinity. It's not any of those things.
No such thing.
These buzzwords, right? So how do we get people to understand and embrace? And I can't even believe that I'm about to ask this, but how do we get people to understand and embrace the fact that Black males showing up on a podcast like this, right? Or men showing, I've got some white friends, right? Who are doing phenomenal work in other parts of the country around masculinity and manhood. How do we get people, Coach, to understand this is not an assault on others? This isn't an assault on transgender. Like, do your thing. But when you start kind of blurring the lines like this, like I think it is problematic. Can you kind of talk about how do we get people to understand? I'm not being misogynistic.
I'm gonna give you the best way I can do it. So I am unapologetically pro-Black.
Yes.
That does not mean I am anti-white.
Yes, right.
Right. One of my best friends walking on earth right now is that 5'5" Italian man right there.
Yeah.
5'6", I'm sorry. 5'6" Italian man, right? And here's how much he matters to me, right?
Make sure you give
him his inch, right? So I'll tell you how important he is to me. I wouldn't be where I am lifting in business as a man if I didn't have another man to be able to check me point blank. Right. Sure. And so as much as I'm going to shop at a Black-owned business, that does not mean that I hate my brother. Right. That's bullshit. So that same thing equates to here. I am not anti-woman because I'm pro-man. Right.
For sure.
I'm not misogynist because I'm pro-man. What that means is first, where man was created and we receive responsibility. And we talked a few weeks ago about the objective responsibility that the man has to his family, to community, etc. And if we have to execute that by force, then we got to do it by force. If we got to do it, however, it's got to get done. So it's not anti-woman. It's not misogynistic. It's just that we are being aware of the needs of men that have been skirted because women have been thrust into the spotlight on certain issues, right? But I like to remind the audience of this one clear fact, right? If it was not for men, there would be no feminism, right? Here's why. Here's why I know that. Because women can't beat men, right? It comes down to pure physicality and choice. If there's going to be rule of law, there has to be a man who executes the rule of law, right? Because I don't care how big and strong a woman is, bruh. Good luck. She ain't beating you up, ain't beating me up. You can't take by force the same way that men can. So, and it's not that we don't respect women. We love them. It's just that it's just a different thing. Men and women are just different. And that's okay.
We are, right? And so, Leroy, a part of what Coach is saying, obviously we can talk about the social construct, right? We can talk about the theological construct, those of us that are God men, right? We can think about the theological construct. But, bro, this is biological. Like at the end of the day, the only way to change the argument is to not make it biological. This is biological. Men are biologically males. Women are biologically females. We can't get away from that. Why is it such a hard thing, Leroy, in today's society to embrace that fact?
I think that society, which is, and I got three words for this, is I don't care. As Coach says, I don't care what other people think. This is my opinion. This is how I feel about it. You can take all that other stuff and do what you want to do. You will not. There will be no one that will be able to force your opinion on me.
Mm,
There's
mm,
no way that you can tell me. And me and my friend, we had this debate all the time talking about the DNA don't lie. You can't change your DNA. You can change anything else you want about you.
yeah.
But them chromosomes, them 46 chromosomes ain't going nowhere. They not. I'm sorry. And we're in a place in society where it's sad that we have these types of the emasculation. I'm gonna call it what it is: the emasculation of men, where they think
Absolutely.
that they can blend these competitions, if you will. Because I think they were doing the same thing in track and field, where they had a dude that was trying to run track and field against in a woman's competition.
Yeah.
Like, no,
In
Yeah.
you
powerlifting
can't
too,
have that. You can't.
swimming, powerlifting, all of it.
Yeah, yeah, you can't do that. Because from a just even like you said, from a physical standpoint, Coach said he can probably talk more about this. From a physical standpoint, men are just we're physically stronger. We're physically I don't know, you tell me if I'm wrong, Coach. We're physically faster. Just the whole dynamic of it. We're just the way that we were created. That's just the way God
And
created
that
it and
does
made it.
not make
But
us
now you want
better.
to
Like that doesn't make
Stop on
us
me.
better than women, or it just gives us a particular
correct. Absolutely not.
right,
No way.
right.
It makes us different.
It
No
makes us
way.
yeah,
Right. We're just different in our own in our way that God created us.
yeah,
So when people that like you said, no, I don't think society wants to understand it. I'm not gonna say they understand it. They just don't want to pay attention to it. That's it. I truly do. I just really believe they don't want to pay attention to it because they know it. Everybody's had biology in high school, so you know what it is. In high school, you had women's basketball, you had men's basketball, you had women's swimming, you had men's swimming. You anything that had to be competitive, there was a male and you had the counterpart, female counterpart to it. The I guess I don't know if Coach would consider this, and Coach, I ain't trying to insult you, but the Miss that Miss Maryland, all of those pageants that they have, the opposite of that would be the bodybuilding competition with
Right.
men. Even within bodybuilding, you have the men and then you have the women competition
yeah,
because of
yeah,
our body physique and our body build. It's different.
yeah,
So it's gonna look different in the competition. I'm
Yep.
just saying, you know,
yeah. It's this
yeah.
is it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Coach.
I often use the example when I'm talking to women athletes that I have here. It's like even women who are on performance enhancing drugs are never going to be as strong as their male counterparts. They're never going to be as fast, as strong,
Right.
as whatever. They'll be stronger than an average Joe, probably. But here's the truth tale.
Right.
I can take a group of high school and junior boys soccer players, boys basketball players, boys swimmers, and put up against the top professional women, and the boys are going to smoke them. Period.
Mm,
Right. Even in baseball, softball, right? A girl isn't going to have the fast twitch muscles to hit 100-mile-an-hour fastball. It's not going to happen,
yeah.
Mhm,
right?
Yeah.
mhm,
So,
mhm.
so
Yeah.
the visual acuity of men is different. Now, there are some different athletic things women excel at, but again, the top woman athlete of all time, Serena Williams,
Yep.
said
Yep.
that herself,
Yep.
that
She
she could
did.
never beat the top men's players. This is
Wow.
Serena. We're talking about a woman who's far greater than any of us would love to be playing tennis, right?
Wow.
Right? But
Who
she
can
said if
hit
she
a
faced
100-pound
Rafael
tennis
Nadal,
ball back?
she said that if she faced Rafael Nadal, it would be 6-0, 6-0, and she would
Hmm.
lose, right? Because we're just faster, it's just different, and it's not us downgrading women. It's just facts are facts, and they're stubborn
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
yeah. You want to get me fired up real early on a Sunday, huh?
Yeah.
Coach about to go lift the car out there.
Listen.
Yeah. So I want to make sure that we are. By the way, to your point, Coach,
Mm-hmm.
there was a transgender male, which means
Yep.
biologically female,
Mm-hmm.
that got in a boxing ring with a
And got
male
their head cracked
and
open.
got their heads cracked.
Literally,
Ooh, really?
literally
Oh
fractured
wow.
skull. It was a fractured skull, literally.
Oh wow.
So and
Yeah.
you know, this is the debate though, right? So like in the military, the special forces, women can't serve in
Uh-huh.
special forces, right?
Correct.
Oh, I didn't know
Yep.
that. I didn't know
Women
that.
can't serve in
Yeah.
infantry, in infantry,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and to me, when the gender norming for something that's required to be physical, it puts us at a weaker position. For instance, if a woman is being attacked and she calls for help, calls 911, who is she going to rather see? The 6'1", 200-pound guy or the 5'2" woman
Yeah,
that weighs a
Mhm.
$120, the same as her?
for
Who's
sure.
going to win that fight?
For sure.
Yeah. For sure.
Right? You know, and it's not saying that women can't do the jobs, but it's a different type of thing. I know this: if the house is on fire and I need someone to get me out, I'm not counting on the chick who can't bench press 200 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's nothing against women. It's just the math is math. Science is science.
Yeah.
You can't overcome it.
And women can't have it both ways, right? So
Right.
you can't say on one day, hey, y'all need to step up. You know, if a woman is being hit, I need y'all to intervene. We're all the men. And then the next day say, well, we don't really need y'all.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
You can't have it both ways.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways. Those of you that are watching, welcome to the Braveheart Bible study, where we haven't even cracked the Bible yet.
Nope.
I know, right? This the Sunday grown man podcast right here, boy. Woo! Oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah. So what I really want to talk about today, Coach and Dr. Leroy, is John 8:32. One of my favorite scriptures. Our last session inside the Reman Mastermind, it was one of those times where we really needed to address facts and truth and feelings about where we are in business, where we are with regard to family, where we were personally. And John 8:32, verse 31 talks about, being a disciple of Jesus Christ, right? He says, and when we are his disciples, then ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And what I really want to talk about today, Coach and Dr. Leroy, is the reasons for which men in particular, we're talking about men today, always, the reasons why men in particular have a troubled relationship with truth. Is it because we always want to be seen in the most positive of lights? What Leroy, I'm coming to you first, and then Coach, I'm coming to you. What is the reason why we have such a troubled relationship with truth? Let me make y'all laugh for a second, right? All of us know brothers that have been caught cheating, and I mean literally caught, and tell their ladies, yeah, that wasn't me. I don't care. I don't care what you say. That wasn't me. I found out I got a twin. I just found out I got a twin. That was my twin, right? That was my twin. Right. So Leroy, from your perspective, man, because here's the deal. There is a tremendous degree of freedom that comes with truth, right? When we finally own truth, own facts. This is where I am. Good, right, wrong, indifferent, good, bad, ugly. This is where I am. When we own truth, there's a tremendous freedom that comes with that. But getting brothers to just walk in that truth, right? can be difficult, and I want to know why from your perspective, coach, and then I'm coming to you. I want to know why it's so difficult for us, because at one time it was very difficult for me to walk in truth, cheating on my ex-wife simply because I couldn't tell her the truth. Or I didn't tell her the truth. I couldn't be honest, didn't feel like I could be authentic, right? Those kinds of things come back to haunt us. And I really want to find out, what's the problem with us and this burden of truth telling, Leroy?
Well, to me, it's one word, and it's this. It's number 7 on my PVS. It's accountability.
Mm,
We have a problem with accountability because what truth does is hold you when you're able to walk in that truth, like you're talking about. You are saying to yourself, "I'm holding myself accountable for what it is that I believe in. I'm not worried about what anybody else is, or says about it. This is what I believe in me. And if I'm believing in certain things, and I've said this, even you talked about cheating, and I've heard this said before, and I tell brothers this too sometimes. You believe in cheating, okay, you believe in cheating on your wife. All right, I want you to tell your wife, I'm gonna bring my girlfriend or whatever you want to call it to the house. She gonna stay with us, or I'm gonna do this, that, and the other with her and see how that goes for you.
yeah, yeah,
If you want to be true, if you want to be truthful,
yeah,
if you want to hold yourself to the truth and say, that a lot of us men and women too, of course, with what we're talking about, men here, is we in this society today, we want to do what we want to do without any repercussions or having any accountability for it. And
yeah.
to me, that's what truth is being held accountable for what you say or what you do or what you believe in. That's just to me. I break it down to that fraction of accountability.
Got you, coach. I remember, man, when I was out here in these streets, right? Out here in these streets, uh, I've never cheated on my wife, Marla. I will never cheat on my wife, Marla. Never. It's just not going to happen. Because I have a greater relationship with truth, right? When I'm feeling some kind of way, I'm going to share it with her. I remember talking with when I was out there in these streets, my boy Ron Handy. You guys may have heard me tell this story before, coach. I was cheating on my ex-wife then, and Ron would try to talk me out of it every day. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, this is crazy, right? And I said, man, listen, I'm in relationship. He said, you're not in relationship. I said, I'm in relationship. He said, okay, then go pick her up, walk down the mall, hand in
Yep.
hand, hugged up. I said, I can't do that. He said, because it's not real. The relationship that you say you have is not real. It's
Mm,
false. Coach, can you talk about the reasons why? What are the stories we telling ourselves, bro? That not just infidelity, but anything, right? Because a lie will interrupt and disrupt peace in every area. This not just relationship with our wives, so on and so forth. It's going to disrupt peace in every area. What's the deal?
So instantaneous gratification,
mm,
right?
mm.
It's the now, right? I think that wanting to have the want fulfilled is paramount to your ability to have a successful whatever type of ship it is that you're talking about. Um, Everybody wants to be a millionaire, but if you're driving down the street and you find a brick of cocaine on the ground, are you going to attempt to peddle it, or are you going to give it to the cops? Because it's owned by no one. It's worth $1 million. How bad do you want to be a millionaire? You know what I mean? Part of the thing with success is that the reason I think that men are successful isn't just because of the drive and competitive nature. It's because we want to have what we want to have, and we want to have it. The reason for me wanting to make this business $100 million business isn't just because I want to be rich. I'm going to be rich. It's because I want what I want when I want it, right? And that That is what a lot of men want when they have with a lot of women is they want what they want when they want it. And there are women who are willing to play the backup role and be just that.
Yeah, and here's the deal though. I try to tell brothers all the time, and then I want to switch the conversation a little
Mhm.
bit. I tell brothers all the time, there are no more loyal side chicks. Do not fool yourself. At some point, she gonna want first chair.
Yep.
And when you can't give it, and you start talking about, well, I think I'm gonna stay with my wife. Yeah, bro. Go outside and look for your car. Your car in flames, right? They done keyed the car. But even you talked about Coach, and then Leroy, after Coach answers this, you can jump right in, man. Coach, you mentioned, so I like the way you phrased it, right? It doesn't matter what kind of ship we're talking about, right? We can
Mm-hmm.
talk about intimate relationships between men and women. That's
Mm-hmm.
what we talk about here. Men and women, men with women is what we talk about here, right? We can talk about that, but we can also talk about friendships with brothers, right? What is it about brothers that can step in a room? You guys remember what's the movie? Why Did I Get Married? Right? And Marcus was a barber. And remember, in one of the scenes, he was telling everybody his famous quote after he would lie is, you know what I'm saying? Right? You know what I'm saying? So remember one scene he said, I'm cutting like 500 heads a week. Know what I'm saying? Right?
Mm-hmm.
What is it about us that just can't be completely honest and say, hey, it's a struggle right now. I'm afraid right now. I'm sad right now. I'm tripping right now. Right? What is it about us as men that can't get past that hurdle, that impediment of deep honesty and truthfulness?
It's the competitive spirit, right? It's the fake it till you make it. It's the idea that you'll be seen less than if you're not
Mm,
what you're supposed to be,
mm.
right? Our I won't say necessarily ego. I'll say our own pride. And I think they're kissing cousins, pride and ego. I think that it's our own pride that makes us want to appear bigger than life, bigger than what we are, etc. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
it makes perfect sense, and I happen to agree. Leroy, you got anything to add to that, man? Because
Yeah,
it's really crippling us when we're not honest. Like this past remand session, we spent the entire session serving a brother who was just brutally honest about the state he's in, right?
yeah,
Brutally honest about the
yeah.
state he's in, tears
Yep.
with the brother, frustration with the brother, and all of the brothers. You in particular, Leroy, hey, bro, thank you for your courage. Like,
Yeah.
like, like that is what remand is about. But it takes a tremendous amount of courage to be truthful about what's really good.
Yeah, and the reason is, bro, because there's so many, like Coach said, it does have to do with pride and ego. And no, there's not men or women, but we're talking about men here. There's no man that wants to be seen as less than. And so when we are not living up to our own expectations, if we're honest about not living up to
Mm,
our own
mm,
expectation, it becomes, oh, what are my brothers gonna think about me, or what is my lady gonna think about me? What is my family gonna think about me? All of those things, bro, that keep us, because from little boys, again, we're taught you got to be the man. You the man. Anything that had to do with us, whether it was school, whether it was sports, anything that we were a part of, we were told that we're supposed to be the best. We're supposed to go at it, and we're supposed to be better than the next person. You know, and I think that filters into every aspect of our life, and how we live our lives. And when we don't reach that level, We become, we become embarrassed. We become, oh man, and sometimes I think a lot of us, most of us, feel as if we're letting others down,
Mm.
and I don't think that we don't
Hmm.
want to feel that way as men, and
So,
and
so
um and I think,
I want to interrupt. I want to interrupt right there, Leroy. I want you to keep talking, but you made a statement that's really true. We're afraid to feel,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like this fear to feel like the discomfort that comes along with failure. I don't
mm,
fear failure as much as I fear the feeling of failure. Because
mm,
here's the
mm.
deal, right? Leroy, I'm coming right back to you, and then you can pitch it to coach. The truth is, failure is a part of the process. So what
Hmm.
I learned to do, even with working out with coach in the mornings, right? So when I work out with coach in the mornings, um, even when he stops, right, and he moves on to the next exercise, I try to do it till failure, the point of failure, right? The point where I just can't get another one in, because that is what he made me do that one time that I worked out with him. I'll never work out with him again. But that one time I worked out with him, he made me keep doing it until I just couldn't do it anymore, right? Failure
Total
is
exhaustion.
the process. So if we could somehow reframe the feelings of failure, the discomfort that comes when I'm not the best, because the truth of the matter is the only way to become the best is to be in the room when you're not the best. You got to
Hmm.
be in the room with people who are much better than you, who are further advanced than you are. Go ahead, Leroy. Continue, man.
Now, one of the things that you said, bro, and I listened to the podcast that you did, Men of the Prize, that you did the interview with
Yeah.
brother, very powerful interview. If y'all haven't seen it, you got to go watch it. But one of the things that you talked about in the interview, and you've said it before, when you talked about your dad, you talked about before he passed away, he wrote you a letter,
Yeah, he did.
and he said, son, I want you to understand that, it wasn't that I didn't want to be a dad. Forgive me if I'm getting it wrong, but you
It
said,
wasn't that I didn't
he
love
said,
you. I just didn't know how to be
yeah,
a
I
dad.
just didn't know how.
That's right.
And that's the feeling that we're
That's
talking
right.
about here, where he
That's
was
right.
just like, I don't, I just don't know how to. I want to,
That's
but I
right.
just don't have the tools. I don't have the means to be able to do it. So I'm feeling as if I failed you as a father,
Yup.
and the me as a failure as a father. I'd rather be away from you and have that, and live with that
Ooh,
feeling, than to be with you and feel as if I'm doing you no justice
ooh,
as a
Leroy.
man in your life. I'm
Leroy,
just saying, bro.
you're
Preach,
talking good, man. That's so
preach,
good.
preach, preach.
Rewind that. Give that one more time, because that's so good.
No, but it is, bro. When as you were talking about that, I thought about the interview that I listened to, and you talked about that letter, man. And this is exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about that accountability, that feeling that we have, that I'm not living up to the standard that I have for myself. I know I should be a good father. I know I should be better at what I'm doing. But I feel in no position, because I don't even, it's no way, because I don't have the tools that I need in order to be able to be the father that you need to be. So I would rather be away from you. And like you said, as far apart as we can be away from
Yeah,
you,
like California. Yeah,
from a physical standpoint, and
I'm
then
not
you
done
broke
for.
down the emotional
Yeah, of
standpoint,
course.
and the other abandonment,
yes,
all of those other ways. That's accountability, bruh.
yes,
And
yes.
It's
and
so very hard.
we walk away from that because of the embarrassment, because of the way that we feel, as you talked about,
Ooh.
as men.
Coach, talk about that embarrassment, man. And I think Leroy is right, right? Like this competitive nature, coach, that you were talking about before, right? When we don't feel like we measure up and we feel embarrassed. My spiritual father says all the time, "Hey Don, embarrassment is a choice. It's a choice. Like you have to choose embarrassment. It's a feeling, right? But you got to choose embarrassment." Coach, talk a bit about those feelings that come to us, man, when we're not at our best, we're not living up to the standards we've set for ourselves. Talk about that.
Again, it comes back to even, I think we talked a while back about, when my father passed, my inability to express my own emotions because what I thought the expectation was of me. Part of the vulnerability that a lot of men are unable to share is because they have that same type of thing instilled in them when they were younger. And that's the importance. Watch this. That's the importance of men being around men, right?
Yes.
Because if a
100%.
man reveals that emotional side to a woman, because women are typically created to be emotional characters, emotional beings, they're going to continue to set that cycle of emotions. Whereas men, we say, okay, enough is enough, right?
Yeah.
And now I remember that time when we talked about when Jesus cried and then went to work,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah,
Jesus
yeah,
wept and then he raised
yeah,
Lazarus from the dead, right?
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So yes, it's okay, but when you're among your brothers, because your
yeah,
brother's going to keep you straight. So
yeah.
so you have to be
Whoa,
available
slow
enough to
down. That's
yourself
so good.
to be
That's so
open
good.
enough for them.
Slow down, coach, because that's so good, man. When you said, because we're almost taught the opposite,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
We're
Not
we're
almost.
almost taught we're almost taught like I can cry and I have cried in front of y'all, right? All of us
Mhm.
here have been emotional in front of one another. And I think expressing one's emotion in front of other men do a couple of things. One is it gives permission to
Right.
other brothers to say, "Oh, this different kind of space. Like they gonna hold space for me to get it out."
Right.
Right. And then the other thing that it does is, to your point, it keeps me safe because
Right.
the moment I express my feelings, I'm crying and shit in front of another woman because my marriage ain't what my marriage needs to be, then that sister, she gonna nurture me. She gonna nurture me. And this was Leroy's problem. Before I know it, I'm in her panties.
Right.
Right, I'm in. I'm in. Leroy show up, shed a little tear, coach, and then the lady like, come here, it's gonna be okay. Leroy in her panties by
Bro,
midnight.
why you got me put my secrets out there, bro? Come on, man.
Right, so it's important. The reason why, one of the reasons why, this, look at this nigga. Look at this.
Sips his tea. Sips his tea.
One of the reasons why I will never cheat on my wife is because, number one, I've made a decision. But number two, I'm coming to the brothers with my issue. Like if I feel like cheating on Lala, I'm gonna call coach. So he can say something slick to me, like, man, that's the dumbest thing I've heard, right? He gonna cuss me out. Leroy
Probably.
gonna cuss me out. He ain't gonna use no language to cuss me out, but he gonna cuss me out. I'm not gonna go to a woman because if I go to a woman, they're nurturing by nature. They want me
Well,
to feel better.
you and I have disagreed
I'm not saying, listen, I want to go down that
on
road.
nurturing.
I'm not saying that men aren't nurturing. What I am saying, though, is that predominantly males are going to check me. I know
That's
that
nurturing, though. That's nurturing.
call it what we want to call it. I'm for the sake of drawing a line of distinction. For the sake of drawing a line of distinction between how women get down and how men get down, there are
Watch this.
differences between
Donald,
the two.
there's a difference. See, you're describing coddling. There's a difference. Men nurture, women coddle. There's a difference.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And that's why the panties come down, because they're coddling you. They're telling you, baby, it's going to be okay. They're telling you, no, it's okay. She did you wrong. Yeah, you should do it like this. See, I won't do you like that. Let me make you something to eat. And it's a
Even
wrap.
to use that point, my mom wasn't a coddler, and she
Right.
was all woman, but she wasn't a coddler, right? So I understand the point. For the sake of the conversation, I don't want to chase a rabbit. Here's what I'm saying: that it is far more natural for a woman to coddle, nurture, whatever we want to call it, than it is for a dude.
Agreed.
So rather than put myself in a scenario that is going to cause me further injury, because when I'm not honest and I show up in a place, I usually don't tell a woman what I've really done wrong. I really don't do that. Usually
Right.
I'll tell Coach, I'll tell Leroy, right? I'm gonna tell the brothers, hey man, I really blew it. I slept with old girl. So that you can say, what do you like? Why? I'm like, look at her. Yeah, I get that, but why? Right? So we got to get to a place where, I love your point, where we run and we tell the truth and we express the frustration, we express the fear, we express the anger, we express whatever it is we need to express in a group of brothers, because I ain't interested in none of y'all. Y'all don't, yeah, I ain't attracted to no hairy man. Right? Yeah, y'all are not attractive to me.
Right. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. Completely.
You're not offended by that, Coach?
Not at all.
Right? So what I love the point, and perhaps the next time, we got about 3 minutes, we're gonna wrap up. But truth needs to be, we gotta grow more comfortable with sharing truth to another man, and stop looking for women to be able to tell truth to, because the truth is, now, other than marriage, like, I think we should be honest with our wives. I think they should hold space for us. I really genuinely believe that. But outside of that, we need to really run to brothers, right? To be able to say, hey, this is where I am, and this is how I got here, so that a brother can give me from a male perspective. And that's the other thing that usually happens, not 100% of the time. There are some exceptions to the rule, right? But I will tell you that, as a man who was raised by his mother, right, it was easier for me to run to a woman, because that's what I knew. I knew how to run to a woman, right? And it got me in a boatload of trouble for the majority of my life. So, Leroy, Coach, I want to give you the last say. Leroy, then you come after Coach, and then I'll I'll make final comments. I was going to say, I'll bring it up.
The over feminization of boys is what's causing the drought in manhood.
Yeah.
We are attempting to make it not okay for boys to be masculine.
Yup.
There is no such thing, and I'm going to say this real quick and definitively. There is no such thing as toxic masculinity.
Right.
That is a lie from the pit of hell.
Right.
Because watch this. Do you want Walter to come save you from getting your ass beat, or do you want the guy who's trying to wear a dress? Yeah. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you'll pick Walter every single time. Oh, he's a jerk, he's mean, but you know what? Walter's gonna make sure the community is safe. Yeah. Walter's gonna make sure that my son knows how to defend himself. My son knows how to protect his daughters or his sisters and brothers, because that is what men are designed to do. The reason we have a larger rib cage is because we're designed to be able to breathe deeper so we can last longer in a fight. That's literally the reason that we're designed the way we are. And for people to say that that is toxic, that's because they're afraid. The reason people want us to be over feminized is because I have no idea. But men and women are not meant to be the same, because we're not. It's not saying women are less than. It's not saying men are greater than. It's saying we're just different. Embrace the difference, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But what I think was it, who said, "As for me and my house, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do around here."
Yeah.
So
Joshua,
we don't have to pick on people. Our job as men, job one is to provide and protect, and that is what I'm going to do. And so the day that I transition up out of this joint, and whether I'm providing financially,
what anybody else does, no matter what philosophy comes, no matter what policy is created.
That's right.
As for these brothers on here,
That's
Yeah,
right.
we gonna do it the way
That's
that
right.
God originally designed it to go.
And I think watch this. I think that's part of the reason that people of color have lasted through the generations is because we relied on and stood upon the shoulders of great men who were willing to run into the fight.
Yeah, yeah, for sure,
Right? Malcolm ran into the fight.
for
Martin ran
sure,
into the fight.
for
W.B.
sure,
Du Bois ran into the fight. These are all men
yeah,
that ran into the fight.
for sure.
And watch this. To be a great leader, you got to be a great follower. Right?
Yeah,
John Lewis wouldn't have been who he was
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah,
Martin
yeah,
King wasn't there, right?
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
All
for
these
sure.
brothers wouldn't have been who they were if they weren't able to follow first. So men accept the order, accept the natural order, and then are able to follow great leaders to become great leaders.
Yeah, for sure,
So,
man.
but anyway,
100%. 100%.
that's my 30 seconds.
Great synopsis, bro. Leroy, your turn, man.
Nah, as we said, this is a masculine and miseducation of manhood is going on in our society today. And it is up to brothers like us, the three that you see here included, to be able to stand up 10 toes down and say that we are not accepting what society says that we should accept. Doesn't matter. We don't care. Yeah, I think I'm gonna speak for them right now. We don't care what you think about it. We don't care how you feel about it. We are unapologetic about this. We are unapologetic about men standing up and being men and doing what it is that we're called to do by God and being men. God didn't call men to be women. God didn't call women to be men.
That's right.
Period.
Over
That's
there,
right.
That's not what he did.
Right.
over there,
So
there.
we
That's a
have
report.
these spaces
Reference to
that
control.
we're meant to show men what it is to be men and give the education of manhood, not the miseducation of manhood, but the education of manhood, so that the next generation can understand and that we don't have a society that is accepting of anything and has no boundaries in what we're supposed to do and be.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I want to tie a bow around it all that coach has said, all that you have said. The principles of manhood are, yes, physical, but they're not only physical. The principles of manhood are financial, but they're not only financial. The principles of manhood are about character. It's about embracing, for the sake of today's conversation, it's about embracing truth. It's about being willing. Coach talked about a moment ago, being willing to run to the fight. I read recently a quote about being an entrepreneur that both of you guys will love. Here was the quote. The quote said that an entrepreneur is the definition of an entrepreneur is one who is willing to run to the problem that he don't even have. Listen to me.
Mm.
He's that's what coach does every day. Coach ain't got a fitness problem, but he's
Not at
solving a
all.
fitness problem, right? I had a character problem. I don't have a character problem, but I'm solving character problems, right? So an entrepreneur is one who runs to the fight. Understand, y'all. Understand. Leroy don't have a book problem. He don't have a business problem. He's helping people with book problems and business problems. Here's the deal. You gotta after today's podcast, after today's Bible study, search deep and be honest with yourself. Where are you? And if you're at a place where you are just not telling the truth to your friends, you're not telling the truth to yourself, you're just not telling the truth, I got to get you to understand how much trouble you are in. Truth is the one freedom that you can create for yourself. You don't need policy to do it. You don't need legislative change to do it. You don't need a march to do it. You need a decision to do it. As men, stand on truth. Be honest. When someone asks you if A, B, and C has happened, be honest. If your business is not doing well, brothers, be honest. If your marriage is in trouble, be honest. Because it's on. My mom used to say this, Leroy. My mom used to say, baby, when you get in trouble, tell me the truth. Because I'm the one got to get you out of trouble. I can't get you out of trouble if
Hello.
these string of lies that you tell. I don't know where to jump in. Tell me the truth. She was the one woman that I knew. I was listen, Leroy, coach, I was going to hear a speech. It was going to get ugly, right? So it came with a cost. And I think that is what, to both of your points, that is what men are afraid of. You're afraid of how they're going to look at you from that point on. You're afraid of losing favor with someone. But here's the deal. Truth telling is the one most important liberating part of your life that you can control. You can control. Coach talks about all the time whether or not you can control what you put in your mouth. You can control that. Like nobody's putting a gun to your head, tell you eat McDonald's or die. No one's doing that, right? No one's doing that. So I'm begging our brothers to tell the truth. Here's the deal. I can feel you. Every brother that's watching, brothers that are watching by replay, I know that the last time you told your wife the truth, it didn't turn out the way that you thought it would. But that's where courage comes in. You can't wait for her to respond better before you decide to tell the truth. You got to be courageous enough to tell the truth regardless. Hey, babe, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling. I know brothers who have said to their wives, hey, we lacking a little here at home. And if we don't step it up, I'm feeling a pull. I'm pulled toward this woman right here. In fact, my spiritual father said this one time, hey, Didi, when that girl come, because he has this receiving line, right? He said, when that girl come near me, come stand right here. I feel a pull. That's truth. I feel a pull, right? So we've got to be willing to be courageous enough to deal with the embarrassment, to deal with a woman leaving you if you make dumb decisions. Like you got to deal with the truth. That truth will make you free. It'll make you free. So today, as we close the podcast, the Braveheart Bible Study, I want to thank Coach Walter Sellers, who pushed up off his chest today 400, watch this, I'm going to say some odd pounds, so he can say, no, not some odd pounds, Negro. 400, how many pounds, Coach? Coach, how many pounds?
435.
435.
Watch this. More than both y'all Negroes put together.
Yep. Exactly.
More than both of us weigh. Yeah. I don't even weigh. I don't even weigh 200 pounds, right? So he bench pressed Leroy and I, and a cousin.
And a cousin.
Right.
And a cousin.
Right.
Exactly.
So I want to thank Coach. I want to thank Leroy. Brothers, listen, do me a favor. Whatever that one thing is that you've been afraid to tell the truth about, before you close your eyes today, free yourself. Tell the truth. And start the journey to living the life of freedom you deserve. I want to thank pray.com. Pray.com. In fact, you see me, I am sporting their gear today. Pray. So those of you that are watching, when you leave here, go to www.pray.com. It is an app with some of the greatest Bible teachers on it. It wakes me up every single day at 5 o'clock. And it just, listen, Coach, this is what I love about it. It wakes me up in the morning and it just begins to pray.
Wow.
It just begins to pray. Right. So go to pray.com, support it. They have asked us to do some work with them. We are still trying to figure that out because we are the only, or would be the only, Bible study that is dedicated to men. dedicated to men. So they've asked us to do some work. They've sent me some merch, and so I like it. Pray. What does it say? Pray and then move your feet. Yeah, don't just pray, move your feet, put some work in, right? Don't forget that those of you that are getting your tickets, get your tickets for The Heart and Soul of a Man, October the 12th, 2024. It's going to be phenomenal here in Atlanta, Georgia. It is the support of males, Black males in particular. We're doing great work inside the prisons and justice involved individuals. It's going to be a great time. And I want to those of you that have not gotten your book, the www.thereman.book, go get it. I don't even know whether that link is still up. Is it, Leroy? We switched CRMs. So
I need one more book, Donald. I sent you a thing. I need you to send it to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
don't forget, because they're asking for it. The person asking for it.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, we have to have Solomon do the landing page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, where am I sending?
Just send some office. Send some office.
Okay, I'll put it in the mail tomorrow.
Because I am pushing it to every husband that comes in. Before they even get started with me,
That's smart. That's very smart. Okay.
I got your back, bro. I think I sold 15 of your books so far. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You need a bookstore. Bookstore inside the gym. I love and respect y'all. I want y'all to have a great day. I'm going to spend some time with wifey. And I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your day.
Hey, Leroy, this one for you, baby.
I'm going to go.
I ain't afraid of you, Coach. I ain't afraid of you, Coach. I ain't afraid of you, Coach.
Leroy, go to the gym. Put 440 on the bench, man.
Yeah, see what it looks like.
Yeah. Put 440 on the bench. Yeah. Love and respect, y'all.
All right, gentlemen. Peace.
All right, fellas. Peace.
The Reman Project is a coaching and consulting firm specializing in personal and leadership development for adult Black males, seeking to break the vicious cycle of missed potential so that they themselves transform their personal lives, their sense of leadership to their families, and their legacies that they want to leave for business and culture. We destroy this cycle on two fronts. We confront both the institution and the individual. We address the institution because, according to the statistics, Black males are under assault and are targeted for extinction in ways that their white counterparts are not. We are over-incarcerated and under-educated. There are systems in place, political systems, media systems, and religious systems that serve as intentional, or some say unintentional, barriers to the Black male's advancement. As a result, we work to raise public awareness about issues confronting Black males, promote healthy and positive images about Black males, curate spaces to share information and resources about programs, services, and support for Black males, support knowledge creation and dissemination around these issues, and provide a forum for Black males to both speak and act for themselves. We address the individual Black male because we cannot avoid personal responsibility. We are now overmothered and underfathered. We make bad social choices, and we avoid responsibility for getting ourselves out from under the social plight that we face. We will develop the moral compass and character necessary to face the adverse realities that are faced in everyday life. We live by the premise that even that which is not our fault is still our responsibility. In 2019, we answered the call to transform the culture one man at a time. Our society, our families, and men in particular, are in a state of crisis. And the goal of the Reman Project is to curate the largest, strongest, and dopest community of Black males in the entire world. We then create awareness and action against the institutional and the individual impediments that exist against the foundation of our culture and overall society, which is the black male.